रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन.
The greatest advocate of peace and non-violence in the modern world is Mahatma Gandhi. Though we Indians rarely practice the Bapuji's ideology of ahimsa, satyagraha and sarvodaya, we never forget him, for at least we see his image daily. But how does the world remember him? Do his tools of peace and non-violence address the ravages of our contemporary world? Let us know this through the mindful eyes of citizens from different continents across the globe.
The perception of Mahatma Gandhi back home, when people hear this name, it's not just an ordinary name, it's a great name. We associate him with our heroes. We actually recognize him as our own hero because of his works, what he fought for, fighting for, rights for black people. So back home, Mahatma Gandhi, his name, it's a very big name, very popular.
The first thing that comes to my mind when I hear Gandhi is, of course, India. And the second thing is, see no evil, hear no evil. And what is the other thing? Talk no evil.
Firstly, when I hear this name, Mahatma Gandhi, it always reminds me, of course, our situation is in Lithuania. When it was in 1991, like we call it, singing revolution and regaining our independence from Russians. So in the very short description, I could say then even name this person like a godfather of your country. Mahatma Gandhi like a godfather in the really large sense.
We have definitely heard about him. We know about him. Of course, he's an historical icon, not only to India, and probably Costa Rica, but I have to say for all the world, We study him in high school and sometimes in university because we take him as an example of how well you can control your life and control people, masses, and control a country just following your beliefs and of course doing everything that you want to get by working only in a peaceful way, something like that.
It strikes to anyone's mind that we should follow the steps of this great master of struggling for a peace, attaining people through peaceful attitudes. This is from the Palestinian point of view.
I think Gandhiji's influence, for me, I think we need it now the most because Nepal is going through a transition phase after the Maoist movement, and there is a lot of violence going on in the streets. Protests are going on. There is, I think, violent protests. So I think Gandhi's, ways, we need it now the most.
A very complex issue. really very complex issue. I don't know how to be more precise or short. That the main thing that, of course, maybe the whole world lacks of real personalities, like leaders, and not to have like political, economical, financial interests before. Because anyway, in these conflicts, the victims are like simple civil people.
We can say yes. On November 1st, 1949, the Costa Rican army was abolished by our president, Jose Figueres Ferrer, and he believed that Costa Rica didn't need army. What we needed was more teachers. So he decided to spend most of the money from the government, especially the money that was going for the army, to spend it on education. And I'm pretty sure he got a lot of influence from Gandhi, thinking about a peaceful kind of movement, you can work on people, you can change people's minds, working on the education, trying to make them feel a better person just by giving them the opportunity to learn and to study, and of course to be a better person, just like that.
Actually, it's not their need to learn. They are already learned because historically, our late chairman Arafat, he has a very deep, strong relations with the Indian official level, like the political leadership through Indira Gandhi herself, which of course reflects the same principles Gandhiji used to carry and to convey to his own people.
Yes, Mahatma Gandhi's word is still there. It's common. His word is common to the word of our forefathers. I mean, even our liberators, even the current president, his stance is also similar to that of Mahatma Gandhi. What he believes in is the same, non-violent message. That's the same message.
I've read that Gandhi always emphasized on home products, like domestic products. So I think that is what our leaders should, focus on right now, because we have nothing made in Nepal, I think. So by following that, we can at least develop our country, more industries, more employment opportunities. I think they should follow that right now.
If anything has been democratized across the globe, it is a culture of war and violence. In spite of that, many global citizens from Costa Rica to Palestine and Nepal to Zimbabwe agree and admire many of the facets of the Gandhian ideology, such as non-violence and non-exploitative nature of the economy and ecology. It is a duty of every peace-loving global citizen to inculcate and practice his principles. We die anyhow, let's do it before we die. With Salman, Kazi and Yogesh, this is Kishore Kumar from IIMC. Satyamev Jayate.
Raga